Fia Johansson, the self-proclaimed Persian medium, is back, and she is dropping all the receipts on Julia Wandelt, the wannabe Madeleine McCann, who has just been arrested and charged with stalking the McCann family. So Julia Wandelt is the woman who's been trying to convince the world that she is actually Madeleine McCann. She's been doing this for a number of years, despite all evidence proving she's not. Fia Johansson is the woman from the United States who brought Julia from Poland to her home in the United States, took her on the Dr. Phil show, and actually finally got her a DNA test done. Fia Johansson has had enough, and she is now dropping all the receipts on Julia Wandelt. She started with this one. It's a screenshot of a newspaper article, and it says, "You will pay for what you did to the world." She started off by posting pictures of Julia from her time spent at Fia's home in the United States and writing some information about what stalking is in England. The maximum sentence for stalking is 10 years in custody. Fia is accusing Julia's followers of using AI to forge her latest DNA test, and she writes, "They will find out the source that faked the DNA test with the help of AI." And she says, "This is a big lesson for people who pray for other people's tragic, sad stories to make money." She agreed to name people who helped her to falsify the new DNA test. Fia refers to Julia as the Polish con in most of her messages, and she says, "Polish con started as a missing girl a couple of years back and read a book on how to make temporary money by retouching people's hearts through their tragedy. The missing girl from Switzerland was her first victim." She then shares a screenshot saying, "Breaking news, please be aware." Apparently, this account, the person who is quote unquote representing Julia, is not actually who they say they are. Now, this person claims that this account is actually run by Karen, Julia's best friend, who is 60 years old and was arrested at the airport with her. Fia also adds on here, "Please be aware of fundraising campaign on any IG or specifically this account." She adds a screenshot of what looks like a new GoFundMe account for Julia Wandelt, and she adds, "Please report this fundraising." Then she lets us know she's about to out Julia's best friend, the 60-year-old who was arrested, by saying, "Do you guys want to know who's the 60-year-old woman who got arrested together with Julia, who was behind this shit show?" And then she shares her account. Apparently she's saying it's Karen Sprague. This woman, together with the Polish con, harassed the McCann family. Julia's apparent representative says that they work for Effective Media Ltd. And Fia says, "So this Effective Media is a dissolved or closed company there in the UK. As a matter of law, they cannot trade." She's also outing all of Julia's supporters that have been a part of this big scam, saying on this page, Julia tags her gangs of fraud who supported her lies of purpose. And then goes on to say that the person representing her is actually a fake account run by Karen Sprague, who she claims is a fake lawyer. Many ask why Karen went home with bail, but not the Polish con, and the answer is this. Karen is on bail because she has an address in the UK, whereas Julia is homeless because she lives in Poland, so they remanded her. Julia has a plea hearing at the Crown Court on April 7th. Fia then starts to share some screenshots and receipts that she apparently has. This one, she says, is proof Julia was born 2 years prior to Maddie. Now, in this screenshot, apparently this was shared by Julia, and Julia forgot to redact this number down here. This is like a social security number for anyone in North America, and they zoom into it, and I believe it is called a PESEL, which is a number in Poland, and you cannot forge this. She forgot I got her medical records from the hospital. You may recall that when Julia was living with Fia, Julia gave Fia all of her medical records and was trying to get those back when she moved back to Poland. Well, Fia is sharing some of them now. Proof she was delivered via C-section to Dorota. So this is Julia Wandelt's mother. There is proof that she was delivered by C-section by her own mother. She added another one saying her dad from Germany has tics just like Julia. She inherited it from her dad, as well as proof that her DNA does not match at all with the McCann family. She shared a picture of Madeleine McCann in 2007 before she went missing, as well as a picture of Julia 9 months after Madeleine's disappearance in February of 2008. And she says, "Shame on the Polish con." She also claims that Karen, Julia's 60-year-old friend, actually called Fia. She says, "She called me and asked for help. She was scared to get arrested too, as she's participating in using the AI tool to falsely create the newest DNA test. She was scared as Julia is going to tell the cops about her involvement. There was another con named Karen that was arrested together with Julia, who was behind this shit show for years." Another picture of apparently Karen Sprague, who she says was arrested with Julia. Julia's family have been sending Fia pictures and she's now sharing them. She says, hoax, when she was 3 years old. Her family sent me a couple of pictures. She told the world there are no pictures of her childhood, but this is one. Here's another. When Julia was 5 years old, she says, sad she can't use AI to fix this. Shame on her and the people who helped her fool the world. She also posted a picture from 2003. She says, this is when I took her to the doctor for blood tests and MRI. She told the world that she had cancer or a terrible illness. She opened the GoFundMe and made money for her shameless lies for years. This is her test result from 2022. Totally healthy. She opened the GoFundMe and told people she had leukemia. Fia also shared the statement from Julia's parents. She says, Polish news, parents' statement. One of the fantastic Polish ladies translated this for you guys. Her parents allegedly said, we always tried to help her get back on her feet. Julia has been of age for several years. She moved out of the house, refuses treatment, does not take medication regularly. She also did not take advantage of the possibility of treatment at a very good center in Poland, which agreed to accept her. Julia wanted to be a singer, a model. She always wanted to be popular. What's happening now has given her 1 million followers. We're scared if Julia will carry the inevitable. The internet does not forget, and it is obvious that Julia is not Maddie. We are devastated by the current situation. At the same time, we want to state that we will not give interviews, publish any photos, comment on articles. Any inquiries or comments should be sent to the Ombudsman of the Provincial Police Headquarters in Wrocław, who is conducting the investigation on Julia and to whom we have provided all the necessary documentary evidence. Julia's mother has actually spoken about this to a number of influencers. She said she will never come out with photos and evidence of Julia being a fraud because she doesn't want to hurt her daughter more than she is already hurting. Now, she said she has given all this information to the police, and that is why Julia has been eliminated as being anything close to related to the McCann family. In 2023, when Julia was at Fia's home in California, they actually did a DNA test and they recorded the whole thing live so that viewers could see it was legit. They even sent photos of the actual codes and numbers from the DNA test, and Fia has now re-uploaded all those. She said, this is 2023 when we did her DNA in the USA. Her ex-boyfriend told me to stop her shit show. He was scared of what would happen to them if people figured she was defrauding many people. The video actually shows every step from Julia opening the kit to actually taking the test. And everything, of course, was sealed before she opened it. They showed before they opened the box and even after they took the test. Khan told everyone she had no access to her test. Well, they had screenshots of it, and Fia's using that as proof that Julia saw it all. And she even reshared the results showing that Julia is Eastern European. She was almost 100% Polish. She also uploaded a picture of Julia with her father when she was 4 years old and says, this time no AI edit from the con, and she says, definitely Polish. Julia's alleged representative is also uploading information on their account, claiming it's from Julia. And this one says, hello all again. Julia has called me from prison. She was anxious and needed me to call her friends in Poland to help her find properties in England so she can live if she is going to be bailed. Now, Julia cannot be bailed out because she does not have an address in England. So apparently they're trying to find one. This person says they've got addresses for her to live and going to be giving her money. She was much happier at the end of the call. She is remanded to return to court April 17th, but I have instructed lawyers to make an emergency bail hearing and application next week. I cannot comment further, so please don't ask any questions. Fia says, when you're arrested in the UK, the police take your DNA. This info was for people who think this con is the missing child. She says the UK police will already 100% know the real results of the DNA test. She told the world that she couldn't find her childhood pictures, so I will remind the con about her childhood pictures. And she uploads quite a few shots, including one with Julia at 2.5 years old at Christmas. She ended it with saying, stop allowing this con artist to play with our hearts and our emotional intelligence. Ask yourself again, UK police have her DNA as she got arrested and in jail. If she was the world famous missing girl, why is she still in jail? This is the fact. As of right now, Julia remains in jail until April when she's going to be entering her plea.